Hey guys, Huzzy here, bringing you another video, this time on Renekton top lane. Now, Renekton is one of my favourite champions to play. Although I don't play a lot of top lane, he is one of them, top laners that I will go to if I want to play, something safe or something that I want to go aggressive early. Now, you'll notice that my computer kind of died at the start of this game. I had a power cut, so I start level 1 in lane compared to level 3 Udyr. Now, this is a pretty big advantage for Renekton, honestly. Renekton, you want to make use of having an early game stomping phase, as Renekton's damage compared to a lot of top laners is a lot higher. But basically, this Udyr doesn't pressure me enough, and you'll see this in the upcoming, couple minutes. He doesn't pressure me enough. He really should be not letting me do anything. But he does actually let me do, everything. Now and then I get a CS, and honestly, right now, you take what you can get. You don't go balls deep into trying to get some CS. You literally just, try and catch up in XP, and then once you've caught up, then go a little bit more aggressive. Now, the thing with an Udyr versus a Renekton lane is a Renekton does win this early, depending on what starting item the Udyr goes. If the Udyr did not go Doran's Blade, then you can win a 1v1 trade if you play your cards right. But with this XP, advantage to Udyr, I am at a small disadvantage, although I am catching him quite fast in XP. Nearly level 4, and obviously he is already level 4, so I've just got to be still a bit careful. I am actually missing a little bit of CS here and there, which isn't great, and obviously something always I have to work on, like anybody. But if you manage to get, 80% of CS, then you're doing okay in this type of solo queue level. When you're a professional or something, that's when you really want to up your game in CS. But my game right now, we're just going over the team comp. We've got Renekton top, that is myself. We've got a Zac jungle, we've got a Lux mid, and we've got an Ashe Sire bot lane. Now, the Ashe Sire bot lane, I don't know if these guys were pre-made, but it's obviously the Cloud9 bot lane that works very well from them. Now, if you see over to the right, Udyr is actually tanking a lot of minions unnecessarily, so I'm going to probably just see if I can make something happen. I want to have that red, the rage halfway, and I do actually manage to pick up the kill, which is really good. Don't be fooled, though, that when Udyr comes back to lane, he's still going to be strong. And there is one thing that I do here, that if I would do this game again, I wouldn't do what I'm about to. What I'm about to buy is arguable, and it can work in certain situations. Now, I do opt for getting 2 longswords, which gives me a lot, and I mean a lot of damage. A Renekton with 2 longswords early, getting that early brutalizer, is very beefy, very strong, and you've got to be careful if you're against a Renekton with double longsword and then going into a brutalizer. But ideally, I should have got a Doran's Blade just for a bit more tankiness, and maybe even a Doran's Shield would have been good. But you'll see throughout this game, I do pretty good in this game, or I end up doing good, even though I come back to lane now, and Udyr actually can bully me somewhat. I believe that I burnt both my summoners there, and I'm not entirely sure at this point in the game what Udyr actually burnt. He might have done his flash, he might have done ignite, I'm not really sure. So as you can see, he's opted for getting a Doran's Blade, so he's actually tankier than I am. He's also got boots, so he'll be able to stay on me a lot longer, although I have my slice and dice. If I get the double proc, then I will probably be able to get away. Now, as you can see, he actually is doing quite a lot of damage to me. I slice and dice out and basically just stay under tower. Now, excuse the occasional tab out. Actually, you can see at the bottom, I'm going to my other screen. Basically, because of the power cut, my Twitch chat kind of mucked up. And then obviously, this was being streamed at the time. And yeah, it just mucked it up, so I was trying to fix it. It's just for the people that are watching. I think there was about 20 or 30 people watching at this, point. So I want to see chat, and at the point, it wasn't really working. So yeah, and I really want to just make a small announcement for those who actually are watching this video. If you have found yourself, or if you have me on your friends list in the League of Legends client, and you've found that you're not I'm not a friend of yours on the LoL client anymore, this is because I actually have done a big clean out of my friends list. I had too many people on there, and I'm going to start using the chat room Huzzygames. So if you want help or something, you want to talk to me, just join the chat room Huzzygames, and I'll most likely be in there. Anyway, moving back onto the game. Now, talking about what a Renekton's job is. Now, a lot of people have asked me to do this in these commentaries. What am I specifically doing? Because to me, it might be obvious what a champion needs to be doing. To other people, it may not be. Now, a Renekton's job is one of 2 things. Either dive on the carries and do a lot of damage to them while being tanky, or just be having a lot of peel for his own carry. Renekton is very good at doing both these jobs. Obviously, he has a gap closer with his slice and dice, or he can literally just stay on his AD carry with his ultimate, with his stun on the W, and just be like, you shall not pass, and let your AD carry kill everything while you stand in the way. Nasus is probably better at doing that if you want to compare the brothers, but Renekton is very good at as well, obviously building a Randuin's, a Sunfire, that type of thing later on. Now a Sunfire cloak or cape, whatever, is a very good item on Renekton. I mean a very good item. When you put his AoE ultimate on top of a Sunfire cape, you understand how much damage that will be doing. Obviously both are AP damage, and you won't have any magic pen, but still they'll be doing a fair amount. Now if you look at the minimap right now, Vi is looking to gank me, so I just slowly back off. Don't need to risk myself in dying at this point of the game. Would like to have a flawless game. Obviously having a flawless game is always a nice thing to do, and I do that. I come pretty close to having a flawless game this game, as you guys will see. Now a lot of people as well have asked me, these commentaries, I will actually point out, are not guides. If, my guides on the channel are proper guides, I've got my Syndra one, and I'm currently in the process of making my Gragas one. They are guides. I tell you what runes I run, what masteries I run, different situations of what play is, and actually giving you, examples of that, where these are commentaries. These are literally one game of solo queue I did that I did pretty well in, and some things I could have done better. That's one thing I think very important. And the main thing of these commentaries is what's my mindset. You can see where I'm looking on the minimap. You can see where I'm clicking. You can see what type of thing or how I'm playing. My play style pretty much is like watching a stream, but you've got my voiceover telling you, what am I thinking at this point in game. Now they are looking to do Dragon, and Ashe, I think actually will get a Ashe, an arrow off, which, is not bad. And she does actually pick up the kill, pretty good snipe. But then a Zac is stuck in the Dragon Pit with a Miles, and I think he actually does go down. But anyway, this point in the game, as a Renekton, I'm actually quite strong with damage-wise. But again, I will say, my path of item, I would have changed it if I could do this game again. I would have just rushed the Sunfire cloak and then gone into maybe a Brutalizer later in the game. But I will actually add, having this damage early does actually set me up quite nicely to be able to get a few more kills later on in the game. Now the level of this game is currently mid-diamond. I'm currently diamond 4. Now this game was actually about a week ago. Every single time I've gone to do this commentary, I've been disrupted, etc. But I actually have set a amount of time, and hopefully the Bandicam and everything goes okay, because I actually have a full recording, but it's all freezy and jittery. So hopefully this one's perfect. But anyway, this level is about mid-diamond, I would say. I don't know how familiar the Udyr is with Udyr. His build is questionable, but he's getting a Phage relatively soon to keep on me. But Udyr doesn't really need that when you have Bear Stance. You're not going to catch me anyway if I have Slice and Dice up. But this Udyr keeps running at me, he wants to trade, and both of us have relatively good sustain. I even have a rejuvenation bead where he's opted for a crystalline flask and some mana potions. So I'm not sure how familiar he is on the champion. I will say that obviously skins do not mean pretty much anything. You can get bad people on champions that they have skins for, but I would say a skin represents, if someone is, let's say, a favourite champion, or they love the way of the look, or that type of thing. Now Udyr is looking to tower dive me here. I use my ultimate and I basically don't go down. Now, if I got the kill there, that would have been really good. I managed to survive on about 10 health, which is pretty cutting it close, but that is both of his summoners gone, so I still have flash. Now, as you can see on the minimap, there's an arrow, bam, full distance arrow, and got the kill. So really well played by the Ashe. That's the type of thing that separates, kind of bronze, silver, diamond, that type of gap. You see them quite often. That's not a big rarity that you actually see. But I will add, they make a very, 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 very derp move down bot lane. Now, Ashe arrow is gone, and the enemy know that they're gone. So the Vayne and Nami, what do? They engage on the Zyra Ashe. And they get, I think, a double kill. So there's one kill and about to be a double kill. Now, I will quickly say before she starts going on about it, but the Zyra is a very toxic player this game. And I do end up actually muting her, and she's one of the community that I wish would be banned. But I actually forget to report her this game for the things she says. And I actually get her next game, and guess what? She flames again. And we end up, I think, losing that game. We win this one, but then the next game, because she flames so much, we actually end up losing that one. I don't understand why people have to flame. I know people, when they're behind a computer screen, they feel more safe, but I act the same way as I do in real life than what I am on a computer. I'm the same person. And if you're not, then you're kind of just fooling yourself and you're not being yourself. So when you're in a bad mood and raging and flaming at someone, just imagine, would I do this in real life? Would I treat my friends like this? If the answer is no, then you can just stop, there and then. Anyway, the Udyr has actually managed to pick up his Phage, so he actually does have quite a lot of slows on me, which is really, really irritating. So I've got to be a bit careful here. Now, Vi is moving up to tower dive me. Now, the Zac makes a little bit of an error play, and you're about to see it. We know Vi is coming, yet he moves around to intercept her. If she was in the bush, that might have been a second more that we would have had to try and kill her. And then I use my stun straight away. That's what you do as a Renekton generally. But then the Zac uses both his E and R to get damage on her, when he could have just waited for her to use her Q. If we had an interrupt when she used her Q, she either would have been able to, forced flash, or that would have been a kill. So a bit of a mistake, maybe by myself as well. I should have noticed or maybe saved my W myself to try and pick up the kill. Now, the bot lane this game is a very up and down lane, honestly. We've got kills on the Ashe and the Zyra, but then the Vayne has picked up a lot of kills. And obviously a Vayne is a much more damage and bigger threat than an Ashe late game. Basically, an Ashe is an AD carry, or a new marksman for those who are familiar with the new name, which is, have your own opinion about it, but an Ashe is a utility AD carry. Does a lot of damage. That crit with a passive is very nice. Obviously, the patch today, that's when I'm recording this, is a patch day. Obviously, she gets a more reliable crit nowadays, which is pretty good. But one thing that a Vayne is a hyper carry a hyper AD carry damage. That probably sounded very wrong, but she has the damage compared to everything. She's like a Cogmore. She has very little escape, but if she does her mechanics perfectly, she practically can do a 1v5 if she's that fed. Udyr has decided to base, and right now my items are in an okay situation. I picked up that giant spell, also got a cloth armor, building towards probably a ninja tabby or Randuin's with that cloth armor, and then obviously got the giant belt that will build into a Sunfire cape, which is one of my favourite items, if not the favourite item on a champion like Renekton. It means you can just stand in the middle of a team fight and go, I'm hitting you for tons of damage without even doing anything. You pop your ultimate as Renekton and then you're doing quite a lot of damage. It's like the Tibbers from Annie having that effect. So anyway, I'm going to push up as much as I can, but being the speedy bear that he is, Udyr does manage to actually get into lane. Now, as I was saying earlier, this Udyr, I do not know how familiar he is with the champion, and he actually ends up going for a wit's end. Now, he is actually delaying his build somewhat of getting quite a bit of damage or tankiness. He's not going into either. Now, if you're going to go in damage on Udyr, now you either build into a Blade of the Ruined King first item or a Ravenous Hydra. Both are very, very good. If you get both of them, then you're on a very good path. Vi is looking for a gank on me, so we're about to see. I think something goes well for me. This might be the play where it happens. I ultimate before his stun. Basically, that is very important to try and get as much damage as possible before they get the stuns on me. Now, I go aggressive on them, as you're about to see, to try and bait them coming back into the fight. I ignite him up, Vi tries to kill me, and I pick up a double kill 2v1. And they also get dragged my team. So as you can see, the Zac is rather confused of how I did that, but yep. That is basically diamond level. Welcome to diamond. It's not much different, is it, guys? You guys are probably watching this if you're a silver or, bronze or something, and you're probably seeing fairly similar play. And yes, it does happen. It's not all that happen. You get from them epic Ashe arrows to that tower dive that went awfully for them. Sure, I played it pretty well myself, but they played it very badly. They should never dive a Renekton 2v1 when he has ultimate up. Renekton is one of the best 2v1 champions in the game. Now, I am waiting for 15 gold odds for my Sunfire cape, and this is when I actually get very, very tanky, very beefy, and actually increase damage. Now, Lux actually manages to pick up the Mals in mid, so well played to Lux. But right now, I am 4-0-0 with 100 odd CS at 17 minutes. That could be higher. Obviously, the DC at the start of the game didn't really help me there, but I've actually made up for it, winning my lane while being behind at the start of the game. So I've done pretty good this game so far, and it will continue to go in this pattern as the game progresses. Now, the Udyr is missing. He could be anywhere right now, but he does actually manage to make his way back into lane. And if you note his items, he actually hasn't bought anything from the last time he based. Now, with my Sunfire cape, I am very confident to kill this guy. I have a lot of armor. He does not have armor pen, and he doesn't actually have that much damage apart from Tiger Form. Now, don't be fooled. Tiger Form does give quite a lot of damage by itself. A lot of people who are jungling Udyr or top lane Udyr opt for that Doran's Blade starting item, and then you basically can kill anything. The Diamond Procs method, many are calling it. Now, right now, my team is barreling down mid lane, doing fairly well. Now, the Vi again is moving in to try and kill me. They're probably just, trying to camp me at the moment because I am getting rather strong. So I'm going to do what I can to try and either survive, use my slice and die. She flashes, I flash. Now, arguably, I didn't need to flash then until she was charging Q. But I just wanted to play safe. I didn't really want to die. Now, as you're about to see with the Zyra that I was saying earlier, now please don't take note of it. You'll probably end up reading it because I'm pointing it out. But then you'll kind of see what I mean. She is a very toxic player that should be reported or even warned. A lot of these people that are ragey, if they get a warning that pops up on their screen, they'll just stop. They'll be like, oh, I'm offending people, I did not know. Or they will just not care and continue, then get banned. And then make a new account and the progress, the circle of life and death continues, as Nasus says. So anyway, they actually pushed for my tower, which I was pretty annoyed at. And the reason for this is basically my team are doing okay. But nobody reacted in the way of top lane at all. Like, I've been pretty much alone this game. I have not really got a Zac gank once, I don't think, so far in this game. But I have, fended for myself pretty well. Vi has actually been top, I think, 3 times now. The first time I spotted a ward, so I just backed off. Then the second time got that double kill on the tower. And then that time I get away, but then they get my tower. So I've won my lane, but they get my tower before me. Now, one thing I quickly want to point out is there is a visual bug in the game, in this match anyway. As you can see, I do have some fire cape, and you can't see the fire effect. Now, Vi again is top lane, so it's pretty annoying that they're trying to shut me down so much that I can't really farm, I can't take tower. They're the kind of things I want to do. Now, the Udyr, because of this, is actually 3 levels behind at this point. And now I did actually see Vi move back into that bush. They're still trying to kill me. Being 4-0 is actually a pretty, big situation. Now I make a little comment, it is a bit annoying when you're 2v1 all the time. But it's actually good. Now, I shouldn't really complain, and that's pretty much bad of me, because if I continue not to die to this 2v1, then it means that I'm actually at an advantage, because he's getting less XP, and I'm getting full XP. Now, as you can see in chat, the Vayne is actually saying, yeah, that's why you're 2 levels ahead of Udyr, which I am. And then the Vi is, yeah, Udyr lost lane and I was DC'd. Well, I don't think it was 5 minutes. I think it was literally level 3, so it would have been about 3.5. So not exactly 5, but still, the Udyr really should have won this lane, being levels ahead. But he made that derp moment at the start of the game, if you remember, that he was tanking minions. And then I flashed, ignited, W'd, etc. on top of him and actually managed to pick up the kill. And my team is actually team fighting, which is not going great by the looks of it, as the Vayne has just killed the Ashe. Now, I want to be a bit careful of where I go. I am still flawless. Now, I ult before I go in, and that's one thing you will do, or you should do as a Renekton. Now, I want to go on the Vayne, but the Zac actually makes a little bit of mistake by himself. And I actually had someone that did this in solo queue as well earlier on Rengar. They keep jumping on the support, thinking it will be a free kill. Now, jump on the damage. Do not be fooled. You need to kill the damage, especially a Vayne. A Vayne does one of the most damage in the game, so the Zac needs to jump on the Vayne and basically screw the Nami. Now, the Zyra, being the flaming, raging, whatever you want to call it, person that they are, tries to do a surrender vote when we're pretty much already ahead. We've got more towers than them, we've got even more kills than them, and I think on average we're higher in CS. So this Zyra is just, pushing the wrong buttons for everybody. Now, I think on the other team, as you can see, they are actually complaining about their Vi. So both teams seem to have a Rager or whatever they are, which is pretty annoying. And I try not to let them bother me when I'm in game. When you've got a Rager or a Troll, honestly, there's not much you can do about them. Now, that's a question that I get asked a lot. What do I do when we've got Ragers? What do we do when I've got Trolls? Honestly, you can't do much other than mute them, and that's pretty much it. Don't react to them, don't bite, leave them be raging. In the end of the day, if you report them, the likelihood of you never meeting them again is pretty high. And I actually, as you can see, I've muted the Zyra, but then I didn't report her, so I was actually matched with her next game. And that is a thing with Diamond, is you're actually rated with the same people over and over. I've been with the same person. I think it was yesterday. I was with someone 3 games in a row, and we weren't pre-made or anything, just 3 games in a row. 2 of which they were in the enemy team, and 1 they were on my team. So you do meet relatively the same people, and you actually learn, what people do and how people are, and it's a pretty nice thing. But it's not nice when you're actually getting queued with the people that are Ragers, or that are Flamers. Anyway, my team has started to do dragon. Now, Ash is actually not in a great position right now. She's, farming a little bit, and then... okay, I've just got a bit thrown back from the Vi in chat, sorry, but she went, I will ult you, and then big old report Nami. I don't really get it. So... yeah, I think I'm just going to ignore the chat for this rest of the game because I think it's pretty toxic and there's not much you can do about it. So, picking up the dragon, I've moved with my team to try and do as much as I can. Vi's in the mid lane with the Udyr, and right now, I want to fight. And you've got to realise, and that's one thing of being a better player, is realising when can you fight. And knowing this is pretty damn key. Now, say, if you're a mid laner and you're playing Kassadin, you know you can fight relatively good at level 6. If you're a Karthus, level 6 as well. They're the champions that rely on their level 6 pretty much to get kills. Someone like Ryze, you can kill stuff at level 4. Now, unfortunately, not enough people got, too many people base at the same time. I move up to top lane thinking I can go get CS, and the mid tower does go down. So that's a bit unfortunate, but in the end of the day, we do, you have to give away some towers sometimes in the game, and it's a pretty close game right now. We're not totally ahead. I'm 5 kills of our 22. So if I'm not in a team fight, then they could probably lose the team fight, because I am probably the strongest person in our team right now. Anyway, I did actually end up buying the Warden's Mail after that small team fight where I actually got my first death, pretty much because of the Vayne. Now, they did ping Baron. I personally think this isn't a great idea, but the Lux is over there zoning, and I think we did see Vayne in bot lane, so we are actually going for this Baron, which is very risky. Baron is one of the riskiest things to do in solo queue. Now, you're about to see a team fight, I think, break out. We do pick up this Baron now, and you're about to see me as Renekton go kill stuff. So I jump up to the Miles and the Nami, and basically as a Renekton you have to use your ult and your Sunfire Cape efficiently. Now I took the role of this team fight of go kill stuff, so I went on top of the Nami and the Miles and actually looped back around and killed the Vayne, and then I'm trying my best to try and keep this Zyra alive, but I think the Udyr does manage to catch onto the Zyra, unfortunately. But we did get Baron buff, and we did actually win the team fight, and bam, I get an unofficial quadra kill, picking up the official triple kill. So I did pretty good that fight. But one thing you have to notice as a Renekton is I jumped on 2 targets, and they were the targets that I felt are, they're clumped up. So my AoE is going to do, more damage than if I was just standing on one person. So it's a relatively good move to jump on as many targets as you can as a Renekton without, obviously just jumping into 5 of them, because you'll probably end up dying. But if you see 2 of them, you can jump on them too, then that's a pretty safe move to do. So I'm going to just push this tower a little bit, pick up the tower, and then head back to base, having 3,000 gold. Now, that is a lot of gold just to have in your pocket, so I want to spend that and then get even stronger. Now, I think my next item will be the Randuin's, and yep, there it is. So Randuin's will shut down the Vayne if she starts attacking me, and then I think I actually start building the Locket. Now, other items I could have built this game, there could have been a Spirit Visage in there, but I was against an AD top lane, so I want to kind of, have a little bit of armor against him, not really MR. Now, again, the Vi is off in chat, so it's, I don't know why people rage this much. It's a game, just enjoy the game. You win some, you lose some. That's the kind of attitude you just need. Now, I picked up all CS there, which is pretty nice, but again, I want to fight again. I am extremely fed. I am 9-1. Now, you could look that I've actually, I don't know, it's not KSing, I haven't KS'd any kills, but I have gone, every single kill I've gone for, I've actually managed to get. Now, an Ash Arrow has gone down, so we do actually go onto the Udyr. Now, a ping would have been nice there, but unfortunately there was nothing. Zyra ult goes down, not bad Zyra ult, and as you can see, I'm Renekton ulting up and then going into the biggest clump where the 3 is. Now, Zac ult did actually split them somewhat there, but I still managed to get onto the Vayne fairly well. So we're still going to go for her. Very nice Lux Bind, and I managed to pick up the kill for myself. Then moving on to the rest of the team, going to try and stun the Vi and get the stun on. I don't pick up that kill, but then I move for the Malzahar, and you're going to see I'm about to get, and I'm stunned, and then I go down again, but that's okay. Occasionally you will die, and I'm being so much in the front line, I am actually surprised I haven't died more, but being 10-2-2 with 190 CS is pretty good going. Now, the Nami is killing Zac, so I'm pinging, help him, just to, make him survive. So the Zac did pick up the Malzahar, and the Zac managed to survive. So, and then I pick up my Locket. So overall, pretty good team fight. I did pretty well in that team fight, getting the Vayne, you know, going on as many targets as I can with my ultimate as Renekton. Now, as I said at the start of this game, there is two ways to play Renekton. There is either the zoning peeler for your AD carry or your AP carry, or there is the kill everything Renekton that you still get tanky in. Don't let that fool you. You still get tanky as I'm doing this game, but that's the one I've opted for this game. I'm fed enough that I know if I don't do damage and let them just hit me, they will probably kill me eventually, and I won't be doing much damage to them. So I may as well try and go kill them, because they're probably going to run away from me. They're not going to try and face tank me. Now, the Lux is actually in a really bad position. She's just got on a killing spree, and she's pretty much dead. She's getting surrounded by the enemy team. And because she's on a killing spree, she's going to give bonus gold. And I believe it's actually the Udyr that actually does pick up it up. And there you go. Udyr picks up a nice 432 gold from that kill. So that's Udyr actually getting a kill in this game. I don't know how many he's got, but obviously he did not get any in the top lane. I made sure of that, playing defensive at times and then knowing when to go aggressive. And as I said, I played pretty well this game, but this game is not over yet. We still have a couple things just to tie up and make sure we win this game. Now, I am on my way to mid lane. I was thinking of looping around the back, but then I didn't really notice, I think at this point in the game, that Lux was actually down. So my team just pings me to basically just not to do it, and then I listen to it, and yeah. So it's okay that they ping me away, and yeah, I just back off and regroup with my team, and we basically just have to wait for Lux. I'm not sure if anything happens in this time, but I presume not. They actually walk in this funnel here, and Lux, I don't know, someone gets some free damage. Zarya does a little bit of damage, so she basically did nothing. So they are going to head over to Dragon, and honestly, at this point in the game, it is close-ish if I'm not involved in a team fight. As this big Renekton that I'm fairly fed. Now, Zac does go for the jumpy steal with smite thing. Doesn't manage to do it. But anyway, if I'm not part of a team fight, then we're at a disadvantage. But this is the point where if we're 5v5, so we should win these team fights every time. Now, I go on the Vi basically because I saw her Q run out. Now, without a Q, now, as you can see, I jump onto the Vayne and the Mal's. Now, I actually get Mal's ulted and Nami bubbled, so that's okay. I got my Randuin's off on the Vayne, I got my Locket off for my team, and they do actually manage to pick up the Vayne. And I'm the only person that goes down in this team fight, so that is completely fine. If they use all their spells on me and not using it on my carries, that's great. That is a perfect situation for me to be in. If I die, that's fine. I'm dying for my team to win the team fight, and it ended up perfectly. I think this actually is where they end the game. So overall, I played pretty well. I went 10-3-6 with over 200 CS. I'm not sure if it was the highest CS or anything in the game, but overall, played Renekton fairly well. Hopefully, you guys learned something about Renekton. More videos to come out soon. Remember to follow the stream, that type of thing. Subscribe to the channel, like, and all that. So anyway, thanks for watching. More content to come soon, and I will see you next time.